It's like, wouldn't it be funny if there were two girls that stalked LeVar Burton? I think he's our best friend, and we made it.
Hollywood has this interesting way of categorizing everybody. So when your agents call to pitch you, they describe you as Alexis Bledel meets Jennifer Lopez, or Cameron Diaz meets LeVar Burton. I don't know. But you always have to so you always have to be something that already existed, or a combination thereof. And if you ever want to do something that's different than the combination that already exists, or something that already exists, you just have to make it yourself. And then most of the time you show them that different is good, and then they'll go, oh, we want to do 1,000 more just like that. So that's the reason why I started making my own things is you can get cast and you can get those calls, but usually they're roles you don't want, or they're not interesting, or they're not challenging, or they're not inspiring to those who are watching you do it. So for me it was about going out and creating things that I wanted to see, that I knew wasn't out there.
For me, it was kind of a cross between both. I was definitely tired of waiting for the phone to ring, but also I was really tired of portraying the same kind of character over and over again. And I just had this idea with Legends of Told that I really wanted to play an elf. Who doesn't, right? I wanted to sword fight, and I wanted to wear clothes that you don't wear every day. And I just wanted to create this rich fantasy story. And so for me, that was just really the inspiration for beginning Legends of Told. Was really that I wanted to do more work, but I also wanted to do a different kind of work. I wanted to do fantasy. I wanted to do geeky, nerdy projects, because that's not where I was being cast.
I think too, yes to all of this, and there's also, I felt bored. I was just generally bored going on auditions and booking some stuff and not booking stuff, and getting depressed because you didn't book something. What's the reason I didn't book it? And all of the BS that comes with that part of the industry, and actually just being able to not be bored was really exciting, and to create worlds that you want to live in, I think was a big thing for me.
I think piggybacking off of that too, a lot of it is you're going to auditions and the monotony of every day, going in and waiting for that one job that's going to define you. It eats at your soul. And if you go in having all of your own projects, that it doesn't matter. It drops all of this weight off of your shoulders. If you get it or don't get it, it doesn't matter, because you've still got all the other stuff going on for you. And you can walk in there weightless. You just get to go in and play.
Well, that's when people want to work with you too, is when you are weightless and you're having fun and you're not hating the industry and hating what you're doing.
It's like that moment from Labyrinth, when she says, you have no power over me. That's right. I'm doing my own stuff. I'd like to get paid and work for you, but this is also really cool.
It's really funny. I was just having this conversation with my roommate in the bathtub this morning because we were getting ready, and we were going to the bathroom together. And that would be very awkward. And she was saying, my mom's convinced that someday I'm going to make that leap to be an entrepreneur. And basically, when you're a producer and you're in this digital space, you're not making a ton of money. You're an entrepreneur. And I think that all of us here found that as actresses, we were consistently under the thumb of somebody else, and we wanted to control our own careers. And it's a scary path, but at the same time, there's so much gratification when you're like, I made that. We've all seen our stuff here. You can see it 100 times. It's like, yeah, I rock. I made that.
One of the things too is be okay with what your journey is, and that your journey is different from everyone else's. Because for some people, maybe that their journey is they just want to speak somebody else's words. That's totally cool, But I think that we're all entrepreneurs and all creatives here, so I don't think any of us would actually be fully happy doing that for our entire lives. We need it more.
No, it's very healing in a way. I'm sure a lot of you out there are creative people, and to be able to create something of your own is just, I don't know, it just makes you feel good, and you're not worried about what, or are they going to like me, or because it's just your project, and hopefully it looks the way that you want it to, and it makes you happy.
And you have a sense of purpose.
Yeah. And it's about defining yourself, like America was saying about how they pitch you a certain way. I had a little bit of a conflict with one of my agents a few years ago who didn't think that I was quirky or funny, and I'm like, what? Do you know me? So, and so I have created some material so that you could see that. And, you know, it's just really good for you to create.
So ladies, I know everyone out there has ideas, right? Raise your hand if you've had an idea. What makes an idea a good idea? And also, once you have that idea, what are the first steps you should take with that idea? I know, that's the way you
Make it. But make it good.
I'm always a little tentative to qualify ideas as good or bad. I guess in terms of the best way to look at it is, with that idea, does it accomplish what you want to accomplish? So if you have this amazing idea for a show, but you want to be an actor and there's no role for you in that, I wouldn't do that because that doesn't actually serve your ultimate goal, right? So I think that wouldn't qualify necessarily as a good idea for your ultimate goal. But something that's marketable, something you're excited about, something you actually like and know really well is the best way to start. Because that's, they always say, right, what you know. And then what Stephanie said, just do it. Ask people around you, Google it. There's so many different steps you can do. You can pick up your phone and start filming something immediately. And I programmed a bunch of film festivals, and I've seen brilliant movies filmed on phones. Brilliant. And you have to justify sometimes for it to be a film. Like, it needs to be a justified found footage type idea. But there is no reason for you not to go just make something. And the first couple of things you make, you might not want to show another living soul, not even your mom. And that's okay, because then you're going to watch it and be like, next time, I'm going to make sure I have better sound. Or next time, I'm going to wear makeup. Or next time, you'll learn. But you will not learn by reading books only. You will not learn by watching behind the scenes. You will learn something. But the only way you will learn 100% is if you just go out and do it and allow yourself to make mistakes and allow yourself to make bad ideas.
And there's something to be said, because I know, we go to panels like this, and we're like, do it, awesome, and then you see awesome where, that doesn't happen overnight. There's this amazing video by Ira's class that basically said, we're all creators, and everyone can be creative, but the time from your idea, what you have in your head, to actually being able to get that exact thing in a video or in a piece of art, that's craft that takes a lot of practice. So you have an idea, don't get frustrated if it's not like, your amazing thing right off the bat. Just keep practicing it, keep practicing, and obviously make sure that you're passionate about it. Don't go do romantic comedies if you want to sword fight. Or both.
You'll be with it a while. You'll be the first one and the last one working on it, so making sure it's something you love.
Absolutely, but don't get frustrated if, it does take a little bit of time, because all of us here are taking that time.
I would also say be open to letting that idea come from wherever you are. Our idea for Pike and Trident started just from an I am conversation. If you're in line at 7-Eleven, my biggest training was improv training, and you say yes and to something. So if an idea hits you, and wherever it is, it doesn't have to be I'm sitting at a computer writing about my ideas. It can be driving in the car. I think letting your idea happen and spark it, just be open to it and say yes to it, and then heighten it. Talk to your friends. I have this idea. I need to do something. What do you think? And just follow where that goes. Always be open to it.
Yeah, because
Just to jump on that, sorry, Steph. But Elfquest, the trailer, and myself and my producing partner, Paula Rhodes, now have the film and TV rights to that property. And that came about on Twitter. I was in Vancouver, I tweeted a picture of my favorite panel, and she, was like, oh my God, I love that too. And 3 years later, here we are. So, I need from anyway.
And I would say too, on the other point that Stephanie was touching on about, once you have the great idea, how to put it into play, for me it was all about collaboration. I had this great idea for Legends of Atoll, as in, I had an idea that I wanted to make something fantasy. Go. So for me, it was really about the people that I brought in, the other producers. The other producers that I brought in, the writer that we found who created the entire story in the entire world. And the same is true for Fashionably Nerdy. I had this idea, like, hey, I want to do a geek chic fashion blog. Stephanie, do it with me.
And it also came, Fashionably Nerdy came out of, we did a makeover show. Sam was getting a makeover, and they wanted her to go from t-shirts and jeans, nerdy Doctor Who t-shirts every day, ripped up jeans. They told her they were gonna make her geek chic, and in the end, she wasn't satisfied. But we had a great time on the show. Hasn't aired yet. Follow us on social media and you'll find out when it airs. But she got a great makeover, but she wasn't satisfied with what they did, so she wanted more, and she wanted that out there for people. So it came from a place. And what did we do as soon as we did it? Let's go through, what did we do as soon as we had an idea?
As soon as we had the idea, well, we just started filming.
Well, before that, we started looking for domain names.
Right.
We went for a name. That was the next step for us. As soon as we came up with an idea, we tried to come up with a name for it.
We were like exchanging text messages out at work with like just different derivatives, and I think at one point it was Geek Chic TV, but then the domain name was taken, so then we just suddenly sprung upon Fashion and Nerdy, and we were like, hey, that's cute, and invited the domain name. Yeah.
So once you have a great idea, at least I come from a marketing background, so I think the most important thing to do is go out there and find a name, find your domains, find what's available on social media, so that you can start doing marketing for it. Because you don't need a budget, you don't need anything, you don't need footage yet to start putting it out there and getting people interested in it.
Yeah, Fashion and Nerdy continues to have a budget of $0.
So does Stalking the Barn is very close to that. We've been so.
I know, Kristen.
Well, I was just gonna say, I don't know about you guys, but I suffer from like, I wanna do everything right now syndrome. So that's something that I personally have struggled with.
do it all, that's.
But I do it all, just really hard. But that's not true, I have some ideas that like I've been sitting on, because it's all about time management really, and what can one person possibly do, and that's why collaboration is so important. So finding people who riff off of the ideas that you have is so, so important for actually bringing something to fruition. And as you say something, like, yes, marketing, like I instantly think about marketing and branding, and how is this gonna further my career, what's the ultimate goal? And you don't have to do that. Like, back in 2008, I did a pilot for a web series. I had no intention of doing, that's a lie. I wanted to show myself as a comedic actress. So I lied. I had purpose. So I guess, what is it, what's the reason that you're doing the thing that you're doing, and where can it get you further in your career, if that's important to you?
Well, especially if you're not getting paid, like you need to get something out of it, otherwise you're just gonna end up empty and soulless. So that's important. But for me, it started off for creating roles for myself, and then quickly I realized that I'd rather just be the storyteller. So more and more I've been moving more and more behind the camera and directing and executive producing, and that was a wonderful revelation for me, because I'd always thought my entire life I wanted to act, and I still love acting, and I still want to do it on the stage. But when it comes to film and television, I don't find that I want to be in front of the camera anymore. I enjoy it, but most of the time when I'm on set in front of the camera, I'm spending the entire time going, really? You're gonna shoot it that way? I would have covered it this way. Okay, but you're not gonna use that. You're not gonna use that. You're not gonna use that. I know. Can I see an edit of this, please? Because I have some thoughts. So that's the other thing that's the reason why I encourage people to go make their own stuff, is because you might think you know what you want. You might. And then you go and do something else and go, oh, this is cooler, or this fits me so much better, this is so much more who I am as a person. So that's why you will never know until you just go and do it.
And there's really no excuse to not make anything now. It's so easy. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. No, but it's like she was saying, there's cameras on your phone. Just do it, I mean, it's...
Well, I know that one of the reasons that some friends I have aren't doing it is because they think that if they go this route, they have somehow given up and they quit being an actress or whatever that means to them. But in reality, it opens up the world in an amazingly gorgeous way. So that's just, I mean, it's a weird stigma.
It also helps when you do book roles as an actor, being on set and knowing what it takes to be a producer, what it takes to be, like, for I think a lot of us, we're not just producing, we're also being PAs, we're writing, we're doing everything.
Craft services.
You're getting so much more, and the crew on a film or a television show, they work so hard, and I know they appreciate empathy from the talent, which sometimes they don't get.
And Hollywood is actually getting excited about tours now. I think I said that right. Mainly because they're cheap and they don't want to pay many people to do many jobs. But they're also super excited about people who are writing, creating, starring in their own stuff. I mean, the Mindy Project is a perfect example. But I've had so many meetings with reps to go in as a director and writer, and they'll say, we like to represent you as that, but would you also please still want to act? Because we can get you in a room, in a writer's room, a lot faster if they know you're an actor also. So absolutely not
Totally opposite to what it used to be.
Yeah, no, but it's changing. It's 100% changing. It's because so much cool creative stuff has come from the indie world. The studios are finally starting to catch on. So it's not actually a bad thing if you're making your own stuff. It's actually something that almost everybody now admires.
And it is good to collaborate with people too, like you guys were saying, because we've used several different directors for our episodes, and they come up with ideas that I would have never thought of, and it's you're just like, wow, thank God for you. And also, by the way, America, you were saying that you're a female director. We need more female directors. All of the directors in our shows have been male, and they were awesome, and we loved them. But Dream Darlington is looking for female directors. So if you are one, contact us, because who knows?
So, so I know we touched a little bit on budget, and I have a question that's kind of directed at two people on the panel that have tried different things. I know that when Kristen was doing the EPs, she talked about possibly crowdfunding or crowdsourcing her budget, and also I know that Helenna did a really interesting crowdfunding campaign recently. So it's open to everybody, but if you ladies have anything you'd like to add about crowdfunding, what do you think of it?
What's worse?
Okay. There's this guy named Jason Brubaker, who I'm really totally in love with. Everything that his knowledge is insane. He is really into modern movie making and sourcing an audience and building an audience. And what was interesting is that I learned that it was a horror short, the gross one that you guys saw, that I was crowdfunding for, and I thought it'd be super easy because it's horror and it's a niche, but then I found out that my network of people isn't in horror. People I hang out with and I'm on Facebook with, it's just not their thing. So I randomly one day made a joke saying, hey, if someone donates $5, I'll sing you a song and do an Irish jig. And it was a joke. And then people started responding to that. And so the last 10 days of the campaign, I turned into a live karaoke machine where people would donate money, and then I would sing them a song and put it online. And it was amazing, and it got us past our goal, and it grew our audience, and we had a lot of press already from the beginning for it. So it ended up being really successful. And I think what I learned from that is that crowdfunding is really important, and Jason was saying this too, to see if an idea you have is something that's going to be interesting to an audience. I don't know what else you would say about that. I mean, mostly that's the number one thing that's really interesting about crowdsourcing, crowdfunding. But also, it's a lot of work. A lot of work. You're basically, you're basically, it's a production. It's pre-production, it's production, it's post, it's the whole thing, and then you gotta go do the actual project. So it's a beast, but it's also awesome.
Well, at the end of the day, you're trying to get money. It's the best, worst thing on the earth, right? We're all creative people. We all want to make these amazing projects, and then we realize, crap, this costs a lot to do. And I'm sure every single one of us has been in that situation. So I feel my personal opinion on crowdfunding, and I do apologize for my amazing party voice today. I'm not sick, I was just having another time without gum. And for myself, I tried crowdfunding for the web series Skyrim Parodies, and similar to what Hels is saying, is that I realized none of my friends are really into video games. I need to reach out to the people that really want to do this. And so when I was doing the Geekies, the Geeky Awards is a business for me. It's not just a fun project. It's not just a creative thing that I'm trying out. It's something that is a business. And I know specifically I did not crowdfund because I didn't feel that it was a sustainable way of building a business. So I had this idea, it needed to be paid for. I want to be doing it forever, until I die. And so I needed to find a better way to make income. And so I actually went the route of branding. So I hooked up with a lot of sponsors. I did the same thing that you would do, building an audience of fans, but with other businesses. So it's a lot of marketing. It's a lot of, what do I stand for? What is the brand of my show? Who wants to be involved? And here's the very big thing when you're dealing with money. What does it do for them? I don't think a lot of creative people actually, they think, well, this is my project, this is for me, I'm doing this for me because I want this awesome thing. But they don't think, well, I'm asking for money, what do these people get in return? And so I would just encourage people to think about that if they are crowdfunding or if they do go with brands. Either way, you really, really, really do have to do market research into who is paying for that. And those are the people that you need to kind of cater to, as well as the project. So it's always a balance.
Yeah. When we crowdfunded for Pike and Trident, our goal was just to go big. We wanted to fund that first season. So our goal was, let's do it. Let's go big. $42,000. Let's go. We're going to make $42,000. And I think when you crowdfund, you need to know what happens if you make it and what happens if you don't. Do you want to go Kickstarter or do you want to go Indiegogo? And if you're not making it the way you think it is that you can't let it beat you up. Crowdfunding kicks your butt because you are pushing every day, every hour, and you want to make that money. But you have to go, look, we made $3,000, so we have now enough to make our pilot. That's awesome. So crowdfunding, I think, is a big, it teaches you patience and it teaches you how to persist. So you have to know that maybe you're not going to get that big goal, what do you do then? And that teaches you a lot when we're all an independent creator. We don't get what we want, how do you go around it and make things happen? And so what was my point? So you just have to keep going. Crowdfunding is hard work and you can't let it beat you up. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for Elfest, we asked for way too little money. And the fans came, we Indiegogo, we did not Kickstart, and they came in droves, 10 countries, 10 different languages, and in 48 hours, we made what we asked for, and it kept coming, and we were very blessed to have that happen. It's something that you have to be very, very, very cautious about. A show that I worked on as a producer, Shelf Life, you're putting original content up there every day. And that's something that you want to do. You want to keep the fans interested and supported. So that was my save.
That was a good save.
But
Stay positive.
but yes. I just need to shout out to Kristen because what she has created as a business.
That's a lot of money.
She donated to my Indiegogo. Going into the second year with the Geekies and what you've done for creating a positive award show for the geek community is absolutely amazing. And I can go all the way. All the way down the list, and Helenna as well, what you've done with Miss and Biz and Stephanie and just everybody here. Please know we're all accessible to you. You can reach us on Twitter, etc., so forth, and it's what we love to do.
I wanna make input on that, and thank you, because I love you. Is that I think, and all of us do that, and I will pick on myself in the house for a second here. Anything that you do in this world, I think when you get older, you sort of, especially if you're in Hollywood, it's like, it's about me, and I want to be on camera, and I want to be a celebrity, and I want to be a star. And then you realize, well, what's my purpose on this planet? What am I doing to help this, humanity, getting deep here? And I think sometimes, I know with me, I decided, well, I'm an independent creator, and I'm really frustrated that there's nothing celebrating me, and so I just went out and did it myself. And I think anytime while you're working on your stuff, if you can also have a blog that helps other people, promote their work, or a show that is for other people, that really kind of gives you that sense of purpose, and I think that in turn makes your own work even more amazing, because you build a community of people, you're helping them, they're helping you, and then in the day, when you're like, okay, well now I'm gonna do a web series and I'm doing this for myself, you'd be surprised how many people are there to support you in return.
Yes, and that, but also be careful to not give yourself up completely to what you're doing for other people. Because I was getting in trouble with that myself. Like, I don't know, some of you should have the Miss in the Biz cards. Almost all the women here write for Miss in the Biz. It's a site I founded a year ago. We just had our 1-year anniversary, and there's 120 female contributing writers. It's for women in entertainment. It's a place for growth, positive community, and entrepreneurial spirit. And I'm really proud of that, but I found that I was starting to get to a place where I was like, okay, but what's my career again? Like, what am I doing? What do I want to do? Because there's all of these things that I have in line coming up for this site that I haven't even started or told anybody about yet, and some of them are just in motion, and I had all this stuff going, and I had to take a step back and say, okay, why am I doing that? Okay, what was it? Okay, and reprioritize and constantly regroup and figure out what it is that is important to you, and what is my purpose, and how do all of these things feed into my purpose?
On that note, let me ask one more question, which I think is important when you're getting started, and then I want to open it up to you guys, because this is all about you. We want you to be on this panel next year. We want you to be our creators. So, my last question for you guys is, in this age of technology and everything that we have out there accessible to us for cheap or free, are there any really cool iPhone, iPad, Android apps out there that you suggest for people that might help? Anything just really cool that helps you with your
podcasts. I'm addicted to filmmaking stuff. Jason Brubaker's podcast. Also, if you're interested in the world of acting, Inside Acting podcast is really great too. Those are two that I'm totally obsessed with right now.
I am addicted to geeky t-shirts. So I highly recommend Day of the Shirt. And it aggregates everything. You can go to Threadless, you can go to T-Fury, but you can go to One Stop Shop.
No, I don't need to know about that.
No, Kristen, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
T-shirts, they kill me, they're like $10 with anybody.
Oh, we are fine, etc. But anyway, that doesn't help you in this sort of,
Should be a different.
You can download
that should be like the shopping. Oh, it's so good.
You can download iMovie on your phone and edit your video footage with iMovie.
They also have, there's a lot of cool lighting apps that they have where you can, I actually lit an entire scene just with iPads, and you can change the temperature. Yeah. And you can change the temperature of the light, you can change the intensity of the light, everything you would like to do. It's basically like a keynote on your iPad. And then they also have this, I wish I could think of the name of the app, because they're some incredible app and I'd like to plug it, but I'm not a great artist, so when I watch the storyboard, there's this amazing app where it's like you animate your scene, and everybody has a color and a little figure, and there's props, and you can have the entire scene if there's lots of motion, so you can figure out your shot. It's amazing. If I think of it, I'll plug it. But there's so many amazing tools out there that are like $3.99 and top, sometimes $1.99. And you can have an entire movie studio on your phone, on your iPad, on your tablet. So, and that's not very much when you consider a real keynote is $1,000.
I feel like we should challenge everybody in this room that like a year from now or whatever, your next Comic-Con, you're gonna tweet Steph and you're gonna make a movie on your phone. And we should have some sort of contest. I'm just guessing. I don't even promise we're here next year, but maybe we will. Contest and we'll get that. Genius. Or if you make a cool movie, we'll all know it. That's
See, like, this is how it happens. We're just working.
You have to get comfortable.
Okay, so it's that time. If you have a question, I'm going to say just go ahead and line up at the microphone, and then we'll just get to as many as possible, because we want to be able to hear you. We all work in an industry where you hear the word competition way too much, and this right here is just a little bit of the embodiment of, instead of using the word competition, using the word community and collaboration.
And it's very true. I don't know how much of you are from LA, but new media, the sci-fi fantasy community, it's open, it's welcoming. You can surround yourself with these awesome people. And
Shannon, we agree. The answer to your tweet is yes, please contact me. 2darlings@gmail.com.
Okay, okay, so, when you ask us your question, please tell us your name too. Go ahead.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Sam. So I'm a writer, and everything I write, I feel like, is either the best thing I've ever written or the worst thing I've ever written. I was just wondering how you guys balance your feelings about your work and sort of objectively make it better.
Also, guys, before we start, I want to have maybe one person answer questions, just so we can get to more of you, because there's a lot of you that want to ask.
I can take that one.
I'll give you my answer later.
Okay. What keeps me in check is my producing partner, Kim Turney, who's right to your right there with the camera. We have an idea. What do you think? Well, maybe fix that, change that. Okay, what about this one? And we volley back and forth. And again, communication is what helps us keep in check, because I've never written anything before. And so then we start having feedback with trusted sources.
And just to add to Sam's question, something that I did that I was very proud of, you saw it on the screen, ladies and gents, I wanted to bring together, and it turned out to be 150 writers, directors, actors, in the making of Ladies and Gents, and we will be taking submissions for season 2. I expect submissions from everybody in this room, and we're looking for a very specific topic. But that was something about me giving back to the community, to build a space and create a place where a first-time writer, a first-time director could do their thing.
Awesome.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Sam.
Hi, I'm Beth Ann.
Hi, Ben.
Wow, it's like being at a COSEP meeting. So my question is kind of specifically for Helenna. You mentioned your website, and I'm wondering, do you guys ever work with nonprofits? Because it sounds like the kind of website that would be really good, like for younger girls, let's say, who are interested in the industry, or even people coming out of college.
Yeah, I just brought on a college correspondent in Florida, which I don't really know what that means yet. We're trying to figure it out. I mean, contact me, tweet me, if you have a nonprofit. I'm always open to collaboration and finding new ways to reach more people and do more stuff. I haven't worked with a nonprofit yet, but it's actually something that I'm really interested in doing, so.
Okay, and then my small follow-up question is, do you think that it would be if the nonprofit is specifically for women, would that be a pro?
Yes,
Okay.
totally. Yeah, I mean, we don't exclude men in any way, but all the women are, all the women are writers. All the writers are women for the site, so if it is a female organization, it would be possible.
Bitchin', thank you. Hi, my name is Sarah. Wow. So I just finished my first web series, and when I did that one, congratulations.
Make sure you give us information about it.
Oh, I totally will. Yes. It's called Fake Heat Girls, actually. But anyway, that's not what I come up here to say. I'm working on my second idea, and with my first show, I was really leery of doing too much fantasy or period, because I felt like the budget and costume stuff just got really big, and I did the first thing on $10 grand, which is even still sounds like a lot of money and goes so fast. I saw when you guys did the montage of your projects that a lot of you guys did period, fantasy, elves, Skyrim, sci-fi. What are your hacks for doing out of budget?
13 hot girls in the woods with duct tape.
There's some. I was gonna say, we actually did run into this problem with Legends of Toll. We crowdfunded it, and we were like, we're gonna do $5,000 for 6 episodes, because that's gonna be enough.
Crazy. I did 10,000 for 7, and it was still not enough money.
Yeah, and it wasn't enough, but at the end of the day, we still were able to put out a really great finished product because of the people behind it, the people that did stay up all night putting costumes back together with
duct tape. Yes. And I mean, we ran out of spirit gum when we were, so I just started ripping the fears off. Like, that's fine. I wouldn't recommend, like, it stuck to my pillow. So I mean, it's definitely good to have a more realistic budget in mind, but for us, when we realized it wasn't enough, we just did it anyway, because at that point, we weren't gonna let down everybody that had worked so hard on it. And so I think, I mean, at the end of the day, if you find out that you come up short, get creative, you know, see what you can do that's gonna look period enough, even though it might not be completely. I mean, we actually reused a couple costumes. There's one costume specifically that one character had worn at the beginning of the show, and at the end of the show, we had on another character with just a few small modifications because we already had that one. And I think that that's really all it comes down to. What we were saying earlier, just do it. If you don't have enough, figure it out with what you have. And if you're passionate about it, and if you're working with the right people, I think you're still going to put out something that you're very proud of. And, you know, Legends of Atola is still my baby, and every time I watch it, even though it was so many years ago now, it's just something that I will never stop being proud of.
Great question. Thank you.
Ladies. Hi. Sean.
Hi, Sean.
I don't have it for anybody specific, sorry, it's general, but do any one of you have a story about, like, the biggest favor you've had to ask for? Because we know it's collaboration, you have to reach out to your friends. Just any general story about asking for a favor.
All the favorites.
A lot of favor asking, yeah.
All the favorites.
Okay.
Keep it clean. This is going to be embarrassing.
Yeah, total clean favor, because like when you're making shows, keep it clean.
Maybe.
I have been so lucky to be with all these wonderful women and have like just such a great community, and I highly recommend heading out to meetups, web-related, TV-related. New Media Vault is one that comes to mind to filter another.
Anyways, in this event.
Isn't this, that too. The Geeky, everyone should attend because you will meet really awesome people there. And you ask all the favors. That's it.
So we are almost out of time. Everyone that's in line to ask a question, all of you will get a ticket to get a prize. And please, if you have questions, tweet at us. I do know that Kristen has a trivia question to win a robot, so I want to make sure.
So I don't know if this is going to be a hand thing. This is for my wonderful sponsor, Wowie. They're awesome. They have these knit robots, and they're tiny, and you can hand gesture them around. They carry drinks for you. They've got a tray. This is pretty amazing. Yeah. So my trivia question is, the Geeky Awards is in August, and it's for independent creators, but we also give 3 industry awards to people to get them in there. So last year, Stan Lee got the Lifetime Achievement, Nathan Fillion got Geek of the Year, and then NASA got the Geek Cred Award for their engineering and, their trip to Mars. So this year, my question to you is, we just announced it, so somebody might know, is you're not allowed to answer. Who is getting this year's Geek of the Year award? And we've already talked about them on the panel. And no, I saw you read it.
Maybe a guy named, I think his name is LeVar.
So you guys are tweeting and hashtagging and all of that stuff. Find me, show me your tweets after the panel, and as long as we have things to give away, I will give them away. Ladies, where can we find you? What's your next project? Super quick. What's the easiest way to find you and your project right now? Go down the line.
Dweebdarlings.com, youtube.com/dweebdarlings, and submit your projects to me too, if you want. We're looking for more projects, so.
My Twitter is Ms. Helenna. It's on the bio thing, and all of my upcoming stuff is in the bio thing. And please tweet, because I love tweeting with people. It seems fun.
My Twitter is America_Young. Most of my upcoming stuff is in the bio thing as well, but also I just started a nonprofit called the Chimera Project, which encourages women to make their own stuff. We give grants out to female filmmakers. There's a little bit about it also in the bio, but check that out. and submit to us.
I'm just gonna do the show, the Geeky Awards, GEKIE, so the Geeky Awards everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, online, and FYI, we do live stream the show all over the world on August 17th, and so if you have an Xbox, a phone, you can watch it anywhere. So if you're not there, you don't get tickets, definitely watch it at home.
I'm in the demolition trade, so that's why I won't be there. You can find me on Twitter at Penny J. Robinson or Pike and Trident. And future projects, I just did a web series pilot for Tales of the Sword. And I'm doing an indie film called Break with Love. I get to be a smart-ass sidekick, and they are kickstarting. No, Indiegogo crowdfunding right now.
Great. You can reach me on Facebook and also at the Steph Thorpe on Twitter. I love to hear from you guys and chat. And as well, we'll be taking submissions for season 2 of The Ladies and the Gents. So any first-time directors or writers out there, yeah.
You can reach me at Samantha Mason or at Geek Chic Vlog. And my newest project I actually have not announced until this very minute. I'm about to launch on my personal YouTube channel, Necessary Nerddom, a new vlog. There's a cooking vlog. It's all about fantasy food and sci-fi food. It's going to be called Epic Bites, BYTES. And it's going to just be all like the nerdy recipes. I think one of my first episodes is going to be based around the Doctor Who release, and we're going to make fish fingers and consider.
And Pike and Trident premieres September 19th, which is the International Chocolate Pirate Day. I should have said that.